Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to be able to speak to you all today. I guess just by way of kicking off, for people who don't know anything about Renegade Nell, what can they expect from this amazing new show?
Oh, where to begin? There's
Comedy,
so much.
fantasy, magic.
Swashbuckling.
Yeah, 1705.
Wigs.
Highwaywoman.
Horses.
Some
Wigs again.
Some
More
fights.
wigs.
Some really good fights.
Great costumes.
Maybe some murder.
Great costumes.
Maybe some murder.
Maybe
Maybe a
light
horror.
murder.
Yeah.
A few bad people who are misunderstood.
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 people.
Haven't been cuddled.
Are great in the show. Maybe.
Great.
Maybe something that
Hopefully.
you love in the show.
A
Maybe.
brother and sister pairing that you can tell.
Long lost.
Long lost. Yeah.
Yeah. And basically lots of fun and
Yes.
a wish at the end of episode 8 for season 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess Sally Wainwright from Happy Valley, we know what an incredible writer she is, these amazing, truthful characters she puts together and the relationships between them. Obviously, it's a completely different beast, being about an 18th century kind of feared highwaywoman with a bit of fantasy thrown in. When you read the script, what excited you the most?
So much.
Who's
Oh
gonna,
my gosh,
like,
so
look at
much.
each other?
Truly.
Shall I?
Yeah, you go first.
I gotta jump
You're
in.
good at this.
Well, you said Happy Valley. I mean, the standard and her expertise is brilliant, and she's got a massive reputation. So when she decides to do magic and a family on the run and a political intrigue and set it in 1704 with, horses and fight sequences and so on, it is brilliant. It is brilliant. I hope I'm not, jinxing it to say that. But reading the script, I couldn't put it down. I didn't think those elements would work, and they all work because at the heart of it, as she does with all her stories, she puts people who we care about. And that's what she does in this.
Absolutely. No, same. I was so intrigued by the story. I was wrapped in it, unlike anything that I had read before. And like you said, the characters are so grounded in her other pieces. And it's the same for this. Even though it's fantasy, she really did write these incredibly complex but very grounded people, even though there's this magic element to it. So that was very exciting to me.
Yes. I mean, the level of ensemble to it as well, I think. It's got such a huge cast, which is always really exciting. And yeah, just to reiterate, I mean, grounded but magical and just doesn't sound like a Wainwright show. And then you read it and you go, of course.
Oh, here it is. Yeah.
This is what we've been waiting for.
There are twists in the plot. We got surprised getting the scripts. We were like, that happened?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of twists in the plot. And
It's a bit Shakespearean.
The whole thing's led by brilliant Louisa Hart, who is just fantastic.
Couldn't think of
to hang
anything.
this kind of show on her shoulders and to have her do all of that, the comedy, the pathos, the fighting, it's just great. She's good. She's great. Don't tell her I said that.
No. Yeah.
We're not allowed to say
can't
that as
know.
baddies, but
Yeah.
we love it.
We love her. Yeah.
Even though we hate her. But we love her.
Yeah.
And maybe you can tell us a little bit about each of your characters, and I guess also the fact that it is kind of balancing really well. Obviously there's all this fantasy and all these other sort of magical elements, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of historical accuracy there too. So in terms of preparing to play them, did you have to kind of understand a bit the context they were operating in?
Yeah, I had to read up a bit on the Jacobites and exactly what they wanted, and Poynton, the Earl of Poynton, my character, who has access to dark magic. He believes the wrong person is on the throne, and he wants to change that by any means necessary. And he will get the help of the family members here. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. And that's my journey through the series. It's basically England is not good enough with this person on the throne. We need to do better, and that's my way through.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes.
There's a lot I've been. The CIA would be proud of me.
I know,
Yeah, you
that's
do
good. How to
well.
speak as secretive as possible. No, I did some reading up, absolutely, to kind of understand the depth of what was happening and the, intense reactions that we have to what betrayals happening and things like that. Sophia, in terms of character arc, starts off, I think, really intelligent and kind of bubbling over with a lot of opinions and but doesn't really have the place to share them. She's very on the same side as her dad, Lord Blanchford, and my brother is off on his own, kind of causing trouble.
He's having a moment.
Yeah, having a moment.
Yeah.
And towards, or at the end of episode 1, she makes a decision to protect her family, and from there kind of falls into some hijinks with you, learning some magic.
Reading.
Yeah,
The magic.
and falls into her power a bit more heavily.
I feel like I didn't do enough
Reading?
research.
You know what's happening.
No, mine was like grow a really bad mustache in about a week, and I was like trying. And then I remember when we were shooting, there was a scene, the first time Thomas and Point and me, we were doing this staircase scene, and Adrian, after about 4 takes, was like, "We're not standing right." And we remembered that, the costume, Tom Pye, I mean, he's done such an amazing job with the beautiful costumes, but like it gives you that sense of like a heightened kind of the way they stood, the way they held themselves. But I just kept forgetting, so I'm really glad you were there for that. So I could have done
String on the top of the head.
yeah, exactly, all that stuff.
all that stuff.
And you were mentioning Louisa there. I mean, I don't know, with the Derry Girls, all the alumni seem to have gone on to do incredible things.
Yeah.
It's a great
to get
show.
testament
It's
to the
incredible.
strength of that show. But I was also reading that she almost had a bit of imposter syndrome coming onto set and like needing the show. I mean, but she completely knocks it out of the park. And I think she was even doing like a lot of her own stunts and everything.
Yeah.
So what was it like working with her?
Only nice people have imposter syndrome. Yeah, I mean that's really true because people who don't have imposter syndromes are the ones who think I should be here,
Yeah.
and they're not the. See what she did? I was just talking. Sorry, Louisa is. We don't get on at all. Louisa
I'm not
is.
part of this. I'm not part of this.
Louisa is that person. She absolutely and she held the team together. She would do take after take after take.
Yeah.
She was relentless. It was great.
Absolutely. I came from the States, obviously, and she was one of the first people that I met. I think we were doing some kind of fitting or hair test or something. And I met her outside of the trailers, and we both were like little kids. We're like, I'm so excited to do this. She's like, I can't believe we're doing this. I'm like, I know. And from that moment, like, I didn't really know anyone here. It was my first time here in London, and it was immediate, All of us really wanted to make the best version of this happen, and she led that with so much care and so much dedication, and really looking at each piece of the scenes and the whole arc and leading it, with so much heart.
So much love.
She's so incredible. Yeah.
She's the
We
best,
love
the
her.
best. We did
We're big fans.
we did a stunt rehearsal for there's a fight scene between Thomas and Nell in Ep 1. And Lou had been cast for quite a while and knew the sequence inside out. And I remember it starts with like her falling out of a tavern, and I was still talking to our stunts guy, and she'd already done the roly-poly and was like, "Come on!" And I was like, "I've just arrived."
I just got here.
She's so ready to work. She's so ready to get into it. And we had some quite intimate, in a strange way, scenes that are very violent. And I felt very safe and led by her, and she's amazing. She's the best.
I'm almost out of time, but just very quickly in terms of what people can take away. I mean, there is something amazing about there being a show that almost the whole family can watch together, which I think is kind of rare these days, and both adults and younger people can find it really, great to follow along. But also the fact that it's led by this, like, sort of flawed but funny and kind of like raw character in Nell, and the fact that it's not following specifically a romantic narrative, and in some ways she's kind of androgynous, and I think that's a great sign of our times in some ways.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's one thing that we love so much, is that even describing it to people, I'm like, it's for everyone. It really is for everyone.
It makes it hard to describe it.
Yeah, we've pushed the limit in making it this kind of dark, dramatic show, but it's so funny, and there's so much. So there's really everything, and in Nell, like, this is not a princess story. This is very like grounded. All the characters are so complex.
She's a heroine, isn't she? She's, proper, yeah.
And it's gritty, and it's very I think something that it's filling a piece that we don't have right now, which is very exciting.
A woman who decides that the rules that are laid down for her are worth breaking. The society says you should be this, and she just says no the whole time. So it's a wonderful, feel-good family series, which is rare on television. It's intelligent, it's thrilling, and it's about a lead actor who says no all the time. The character just goes, I'm going to change things. I'm going to make the world the way I want it to be.
Right. If it's not set out for you, you have to create it.
Create it.
And she does that.
Brilliant.
And it's just dead good, isn't it?
That's the one you're going to go
That's the quote. It's good.
Renegade Nell.
She's
dead
really
good.
Good.
That's the strapline.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all that with me, and I really
Thank
can't
you.
wait for everyone else to see the show. Thanks a lot.
Great.
so much.
Thanks,
Really lovely to
guys.
meet you.
Lovely to meet you.